You are tuning into Box Story. My name is Rack Noble. Today we have Road Fighter, Road Warrior, Jordan Grannum. Jordan just went through 4 rounds. You made this look easy. Talk to us. What's it like being in there?
Oh, it's my home in there, man. I love it. Like, I couldn't live without it. Like, obviously, I'm back fighting regular now since like the COVID restrictions have eased up a bit. So I'm just in my zone, man. I'm like, I get past this one, next week. I'm back here again, so I'm good.
Because you're saying to me, you got 4 fights, 4 weeks, 4 fights.
No, I've boxed like the last 3 weeks plus this 4, and I got another 4, so I should do 8 between 8 to 10 in a row, even maybe more, because like the demand for the weight fighters is very high right now, and obviously I'm one of the best at what I do, so my demand is crazy. Right now I'm booked up, like you can't get me. 8
weeks, 8 fights in a row. Do you know, as an amateur, we were both amateurs around the same time, and sometimes I might have 2-3 weeks in a row consecutive fights, but never 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Not even the ABAs was 8 weeks in a row of fights.
Yeah. The most I've done is 11 weeks in a row.
That's
back to back. Yeah, man. Every
week. That's under-recognised. That's the under-recognised thing right now. But the thing, at this point of time, journeymen, road fighters, the away corner, they're in demand. They're a lot more needed than there are the prospects. You said there was 25 prospects the other weekend which didn't get to fight because there just wasn't enough fights to go around.
Maybe even more. I think where the COVID has happened and all the fighters haven't been able to fight, all the prospects haven't been able to fight, it's just now that the shows are booked up, like in September there was a record numbers of shows, there was 47 shows, that's a record number of shows listed for September ever, for I think any month. So loads of prospects are looking to fight, and like because they can't get the foreigners in as easy because of all the COVID stuff, it's a lot difficult now, it's a lot harder. So the away fighters are just in demand like never before, which is amazing for guys like myself.
So business is booming.
Business is booming. Business is booming, bruv. You know what? Like, honestly, I started off 2-0 and I was selling tickets, and obviously I realised that I really couldn't do the ticket thing, yeah. And I had 2 fights in 2 years as a prospect. I had to cancel some because I knew I weren't going to make money and whatnot. And as a journeyman, yeah, I've had like 83 fights in like 3.5 years, bro. Now that's 85 tonight, but I'm saying take away the 2 as a prospect. I've had 83 in like 3 years, bro, 3.5 years, like. So I can't ask for much more. People say, how can you go in there and like you should be doing better and whatnot.
That experience is invaluable.
Experience, bro. Going in there every week fighting different styles, getting paid for something you love to do. Like I love my job. Like I work like 20 minutes a week, bro. Max.
That life there.
Like 18 minutes a week, bro. And I'm just laughing, bro.
Like people see, well, of course, journeymen have been around from the beginning of time in boxing. When people see journeymen, they think, oh, they're not that good. They can't box. That's all they can do. Let me just tell you, yeah. Me and Jordan used to spar back in the amateur days at the Lynn Sunday mornings, London Squad Trials. We used to spar every week, and this guy, he was the business. He was doing it. He was, I think, what was your amateur record? 26-2.
No, I finished on 28-3, but I went 26 unbeaten.
Man went 26 fights unbeaten. He won the Class A's, he won the Class B's. He represented London a couple of times.
Harrogate Box Cup twice,
Harrogate Box Cup twice. Like, this guy could fight. Ain't no doubt about it, this guy could fight.
100%.
So when I see him going in the ring with a lot of these prospects, I know he can beat them. I know he's got the one up on them. But like you said, this is a job, this is your hustle, this is what you do.
Yeah, man, this is my job and I love it. I mean, I couldn't live without it. Like, honestly, I couldn't live without it. I love fighting every week. Like, I want to fight every week. And as a prospect, you can't fight every week. So if I can't fight as a prospect every week, I'll go and fight as a journeyman every week. I have to fight every single week. That is it.
Interesting, because I was going through your records and of course, I saw you got a few wins. You got a few wins. Just explain to me how that worked out, because I would have thought
I must have been training extra hard that week. I must have been training extra hard. No, look, honestly, like I fought 85 different boys, but probably I think I might have fought someone twice, but say like 85 different boys. That obviously there's different levels to. Some are gonna be like really good. The very few are really good. Like there's a few that like shouldn't be pro, but just ain't the greatest in it. So like. Yeah, man, I'm like a gatekeeper for the prospects. If you're shit, then I'll beat you, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not, then like, you'll just win. You'll just, you know?
Who's been the best boy you've been in with? Who could you say you've been in with you could see doing stuff in the future?
The only time I've ever been down in my career, obviously I had a bad leg, but the only time I've ever been down is against Aaron McKenna. Aaron McKenna, I was unfit for that, but he's definitely one of the top 5 boys I fought. I say Aaron McKenna, I would not say not someone's number 1, but I say Aaron McKenna's up there. Sam Eggington, I thought he's up there. Sam Kinnock's got a fighter, I can't remember his name. Dean Sutherland, that's Sam Kinnock's fighter. He's up there. Yeah, it's about it at the moment. Like, I'd have to go through the whole fucking 85 to see like, whose name stands out to me.
Right now you had 85 fights. What's the goal? What's the target? What are we aiming for?
I've just sent in my manager's form so I can become a manager. So I'm looking for journeyman. I'm looking for journeyman. That's what I want to do. I want to have a stable of journeyman. But for me myself, I want to continue fighting for as long as God lets me with my hands and my feet. I want to continue fighting. I kind of want to break that 300 record, to be fair. So
Christian Late holds that. He was a
Christian Late and Peter Buckley together 300. So I want to beat that. But obviously it's a dangerous game what we're in, you know. So it's like, it is business, but it's brutal at the same time. So one fight and everything could change. So I just gotta be grateful, hold my blessings, and just, you know, pray every time I get in there that I get out safely, which I do.
85 fights, going for 300. So far, looking at the numbers, you've done it in almost record time.
Record time.
With all the other journeymen in the scene, you seem to have gone at a much faster pace and a much faster rate. And if you minus the time that you was a prospect and the time of COVID lockdown, I think it's only been about 3.5 years and you've racked up all of these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's just natural to me, bro. Anything boxing is just natural to me. So I'm fighting, I'm not getting stopped. So obviously if you get stopped or you don't finish the fight, you have a 28-day suspension. So obviously I've only had that once. Like, other than that, racking them up. Like, I look at it like, if I don't get stopped, I've won. If I go home with my envelope of money and I'm not hurt in a sense, like, I've won. So I'll kind of, you're not stopping me. Like, if I'd have got stopped tonight, I mean, like, a lot of money is coming out of my next couple fights, and obviously I'm booked up, so it's very crucial that I don't get stopped. But yeah, man, I'm in and out every week. I'm like one of the best at what I do. People say I'm the best journeyman out there. I don't know about that yet, but I reckon I will be.
Can I add something?
Can you add something?
Go for it.
Do you know what? With Jordan, for me, as a boxing fanatic, he transcends boxing, because what it is with his trade, there's no ego, zero ego, and it's, you know, people take drugs to lose their ego and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's what I rate. When a man come out, it's cool.
Yeah. And I can explain where the ego went, because as an amateur, when I was unbeaten, I used to say that I would rather lose my ball bags and never be able to have kids than lose a fight. And I believed that I was serious. There's no losing under no circumstances. So to then come here now and obviously have, what, I had 85 fights, I think I've won like 5 or 6. So like, it's a whole different ball game. But yeah, the ego's gone. You know why the ego's gone? Because I'm making money from something that I love.
Getting paid.
I'm gonna get a house out of something that I love. I'm gonna get journeyman underneath me. I've helped a load of boys come through in the ranks, staying fit, traveling England, like,
for real, up and down. I saw you in Scotland last year, for example, just bump into Scotland.
Yeah, that's like a second home to me. Enough times I've been up Scotland, they treat me well. Big up Sam Kinnock, big promoter over there. Like,
promotions, shout out to them.
Always. So yeah, like, it's a lot, but everyone can't do it. That's where the problem is. Everybody cannot do what I do. As much as people would want the money, people would love to make $6 a month. I'm not saying I make $6 a month, but people would love to make $6 a month, but they can't. They ain't got the heart to go out on the road and go. Bro, sometimes like, I go to places, brother, I'm by myself, I find someone there, I get them to do my corner, I don't know them from Adam, brother, I fight and I go home. People don't understand, like, bro, people need their team around them, or they need fucking, like, all this cuddly shit, bro. We go to the fight, we fight, and we go home.
Bro, hear this.
Simple.
If they were to give you 2-month training camp, and you was to go in with the current British champion of a weight which you're the most comfortable at, what are you saying?
Bro, that would be a very, very good fight. A 2-month training camp for me, bro. Like, wow.
What's your comfortable weight? Can you still make 147?
No,
or you
know what, this
these days?
COVID thing, I am walking around heavy right now, but I'll fight between 11.2 and 11.7. That's what I'm fighting between. But any of them between them weights are too much training.
Who's current Livingstone 2?
So let's say super welterweight, Ted Cheeseman. Too much training camp.
Yeah, I think
Ted Cheeseman.
bro, but I don't want to start just saying, yeah, bro, with my record, start calling, yeah, I'll beat this person, I'll beat that person. But for me, I know a 2-month training camp for me is like, I'm gonna be bang, red hot.
Do you know, I think it'll be very interesting to see a guy of your experience and your caliber have that amount of time to prepare more better than 2 weeks. But you know, Jordan, we're gonna need to catch up at another time and go through this in depth, because not many people understand or know much about the journeyman psychology or pathway that they take, and kind of just see them as a losing fighter. But Jordan, keep doing what you're doing. We'll be keeping track.
Thank you.
We've got to do this again at some point. And on to next week.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
On to next week. Box Story out.